There are people in this world who do not scream when they are in pain. They do not shatter dishes or stomp out the door. They don't even raise their voice. When the hurt comes, sharp, sudden, or dragging and slow, they simply go quiet. It's a peculiar kind of stillness. It's not the quiet of someone who is fine or someone who is ignoring you. It's the sound of a closing door. You look into their eyes, and they are suddenly far away, folding into themselves like a map being put back in its case. They look away, not in dismissal, but in a kind of desperate self-containment. They are letting the moment, the storm, the wave of conflict, pass through them. And they have learned, through long and exhausting repetition, not to fight the tides. This silence is often misinterpreted. It looks like indifference. It looks like emotional surrender. It looks like the person you are arguing with simply doesn't care about the relationship, the fight, or the depth of the issue at hand. But I want to tell you, for some people, this silence is the loudest form of self-preservation they have left. It's not because the argument doesn't matter. It matters too much. It's not because they don't have words. They often have an entire, fully formed monologue of perfectly structured truth raging just behind their teeth. They have the clarity, the insight, the surgical language to dismantle the conflict, the betrayal, or the misunderstanding in front of them. But they hold the fire back. Why? Because they have lived through moments where speaking up made everything worse. This silence is a deep, learned behavior, a scar tissue of past relational failures. Maybe when they spoke their truth, it was used against them. Maybe their vulnerability was met with an explosion, a rejection, or a defensive counterattack that only compounded the original pain. They learned that expressing their pain was not a pathway to resolution, but an invitation to further harm. They learned that the quickest way to end the chaos was to make themselves small, to become invisible, to offer no resistance to the prevailing wind. So they retreat. They go inside their heads. The body is standing there, still, often looking neutral or even blank. But inside, the person is in lockdown. They are a fortress whose gates have slammed shut. They are triaging their own internal wounds. They are processing the raw data of the conflict with an almost clinical detachment, because the moment they allow the feeling to escape, they know they might shatter. This shutdown is a protective mechanism, a way to keep the heart from being fatally exposed. They are choosing peace on the outside, even when the chaos is deafening inside them. The external peace is a desperate attempt to stabilize the situation, a plea without words. Please stop. I cannot take any more damage right now. If you are a person who goes silent, who retreats inside their own mental walls, I want you to know this. You are not weak. You are a survivor. You are a person whose deep sensitivity was once weaponized against you. And your silence is not a refusal to engage. It is the boundary you draw when you no longer trust that the other person can handle the truth of your pain without inflicting more. It is your way of saying, I will protect the most fragile part of myself until I can feel safe again. But here's the catch, and this is where the lucidity must enter. The silence that keeps you safe in the moment can suffocate the relationship in the long run. The unspoken hurts, the unexpressed needs, they don't just disappear. They build a wall of soundless resentment, a thick, unbreathable atmosphere between two people. the temporary safety becomes a permanent distance. The journey for the silent one is not to suddenly become a screamer, but to find a tiny, safe crack in that fortress. It is to learn that not all conflicts are hurricanes, and not all people are going to punish your honesty. It is the slow, painstaking process of learning to whisper the truth instead of keeping it captive. And if you are standing opposite the person who goes silent, your job is to create the space. Do not demand sound. Do not pressure them to just talk. Instead, offer the safety they never had. Let the silence be. And then, after the storm has truly passed, offer a soft, consistent invitation for their return. Because silence is not surrender. It is a holding space. And the real work is always in what is spoken, eventually, after the storm has finally cleared and the heart dares to peek out again.